Historic decisions taken in the first cabinet meeting of the second year of Modi 2.0. MSME definition revised for the first time in 14 years. 20,000 crore package given for distressed MSMEs. 50,000 crore equity infusion through fund of funds. Prime Minister Modi launches Champions, a technology platform to empower MSMEs. The portal will empower MSMEs to march into the big leagues, a nation and global companies by solving their grievance, encouraging, supporting, helping and hand-holding them. Cabinet fixes MSP at a level of at least 1.5 times the cost of production of Kharif season 2020-21. PM Samvindi launched for providing affordable loans to street vendors. Home Minister Amit Shah holds meeting with senior officials of NDMA, NDRF and IMD on preparedness for dealing with cyclone Nisarg. Maharashtra, Gujarat brace for the cyclone as it is expected to make a landfall tomorrow. Government adds more flights to Vande Bharat mission to enable stranded Indians to return home. Air India to operate 70 flights to United States and Canada under phase 3 of the mission from June 11th to 30th. And violence. The recovery rate of COVID-19 patient improves to 48.18% in the country. The number of active cases stand at 93,322. Nearly 92,000 recover from the disease. More than 62 lakh people affected globally. And violence erupts in cities across the United States, sparked by the death of African-American George Floyd in police custody. Curfew imposed in nearly 40 cities. Good morning. Welcome to English News. I am Anil Thomas. Now for the stories in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi chaired the first cabinet meeting of the second year in office. Several key decisions were taken in the meeting. Union Ministers Nitin Gadkari, Prakash Javadekar and Narendra Singh Tomar informed the press conference about the decisions being taken in the cabinet meeting. The cabinet approved the upward revision of MSME definition and modalities, the roadmap for implementing remaining two packages for the MSMEs, which are 20,000 crore rupee package for the distressed MSMEs and 50,000 crore rupees equity infusion through the fund of funds.
देश भर के विभिन्न क्षेत्रों में चुपचाप काम करते हुए 6 करोड़ से अधिक एमएसएमईज की एक मजबूत और आत्मनिर्भर भारत के निर्माण में महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका है। जो एमएसएमई संकट में है उनको इक्विटी सहायता प्रदान करने के लिए अधीनस्थ ऋण के रूप में 20,000 करोड़ रुपए का प्रावधान का प्रस्ताव आज कैबिनेट द्वारा औपचारिक रूप से अनुमोदित किया गया। इससे 2 लाख ऐसे जो संकट में है ऐसे एमएसएमई को फायदा होगा। एमएसएमई के लिए 50,000 करोड़ रुपए की इक्विटी निवेश का प्रस्ताव भी पहली दफा हुआ है।
अब ये जो फंड ऑफ फंड हमने जो क्रिएट किया हुआ है, ये बहुत ही आधार पर जो कमजोर एमएसएमई है, जो आर्थिक दृष्टि से एनपी अकाउंट हो गया है, बंद पड़ी हुई है, उनके कारण सबसे बड़ा इसका रिस्ट्रक्चरिंग करने के लिए उसका उपयोग होगा। उससे वो इंडस्ट्री वायबल हो जाएगी। और ये 20,000 करोड़ का फंड है, तो करीब इसका 2 लाख एमएसएमई यूनिट को फिर से शुरू करने में, जो विशेष रूप से डिस्ट्रेस में है, उनको इसका फायदा होगा। और ये जो बड़े इंडस्ट्री है, इनके शेयर स्टॉक एक्सचेंज में लोग लेते हैं, खरीदते हैं, क्या आपको पता है? एमएसएमई को ये सहूलियत नहीं थी। तो अभी हमने एक 10,000 करोड़ का शुरुआती योगदान दिया है और इस फंड को बाकी के फंड ऐड करके ये 50,000 करोड़ का फंड बनेगा। और जो एमएसएमई एक्सपोर्ट करती है, जिनका टर्नओवर अच्छा है, जीएसटी रिकॉर्ड अच्छा है, तो हम उनको पहले ही उनके फंड के लिए हम उसमें हमारी इक्विटी खरीदी करेंगे। वो मैक्सिमम 15% है, जो भी है उसकी फंड उसमें हम खरीद सकते हैं और ये इक्विटी के कारण उनको स्ट्रेंथ मिलेगी।
The Union Cabinet also approved an increase in minimum support price as the MSP of 14 Kharif crops. The increased MSP will ensure a fair price which is 50 to 83% more than the cost of production.
आज फिर कृषि लागत एवं मूल्य आयोग की जो रिकमेंडेशन है 14 फसलों के लिए वो आ गई हैं। जैसे धान को देखेंगे तो लागत का 50% अधिक मुनाफे को ध्यान में रखते हुए 1868 यह घोषित की गई है। इसी प्रकार से ज्वार हाइब्रिड को देखेंगे तो ये इसमें भी 50% मुनाफा हो, इस दृष्टि से 2620 घोषित की गई है। बाजरा को अगर हम देखेंगे तो 150 उस 83% को ध्यान में रखते हुए 2150 घोषित किया गया है। इसका लाभ निश्चित रूप से किसानों को बड़ी मात्रा में अगली बार होने वाला है।
Cabinet approves the extension of the repayment date for short-term loans for agriculture and allied activities by banks which have become due or shall become due between the 1st of March and the 31st of August 2020.
समय पर किसान अपना फसली ऋण चुकाने में सफल होता है तो किसान को 4% ब्याज पर कर्ज मिलता है। इस बार आपको ध्यान है कि 31 मार्च भी लॉकडाउन की स्थिति में था, तो उस समय हम लोगों ने सोचा कि 31 मई तक शायद ये ठीक ठाक स्थिति आ जाएगी, लेकिन अभी भी सामान्य स्थिति नहीं है। लेकिन अभी भी ऐसी स्थिति है कि कई जगह खरीद का काम भी चल रहा है, कई जगह बैंक में जाना थोड़ा दुर्लभ ही हो रहा है। इसलिए किसानों के हित में माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने इस तिथि को बढ़ाकर अब 31 अगस्त कर दिया है।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi launched the technology platform Champions, which stands for creation and harmonious application of modern processes for increasing the output and national strength. As the name suggests, the portal is basically for making the smaller units big by solving their grievances, encouraging, supporting, helping and handholding them. It is a real one-stop shop solution for MSME ministry. This ICT-based system is set up to help the MSMEs in present difficult situation and also to handhold them to become national and international champions. It is a technology-packed control room cum management information system. In addition to ICT tools including telephone, internet and video conference, the system is enabled by artificial intelligence, data analytics and machine learning. It is also fully integrated on real-time basis with Government of India's main grievance portal, CP Grams and MSME Ministry's own other web-based mechanisms. The entire ICT architecture is created in-house with the help of NIC in no cost. Similarly, the physical infrastructure is created in one of the ministry's dumping rooms in a record time. As part of the system, a network of control rooms is created in a hub and spoke model. The hub is situated in New Delhi in the Secretary's MSME's office. The spokes are in the states in various offices and institutions of MSME ministry. As of now, 66 state-level control rooms are created and made functional. They are connected through video conference, also in addition to the portal of champions. A detailed standard operating procedure, that's SOP, has been issued to the officers and staff have been deployed and training has been conducted for them.
Nothing moves unless you move it. Let's restart.
The entire world today is fighting against the pandemic, COVID-19. India took a call on lockdown at an appropriate time, and the whole world is appreciating this as a right decision taken at the right time. The people of India wholeheartedly supported this courageous. The government decided to allow manufacturing units and factories to start production in order to keep the economy moving while ensuring all safety measures in place. Guidelines for the protection of personnel working in micro, small and medium enterprises. When getting ready for work, check on your health. Don't go to work If you are even slightly unwell, do wear a mask when moving out of the house. Prevention against coronavirus at workplace. Must wear mask at workplace. While entering the workplace premises, don't forget to sanitize your hands. Suggestions for the officers. Conduct virtual meetings only as far as possible. Make sure to disinfect the meeting room with spray before and after every meeting. New norms for cafeteria. Prefer home-cooked food only or else eat packaged food. New norms for commute and travel. Say no to carpooling. Prevention in restrooms. Open doors with the help of elbows. Don't crowd up the restroom. Safety measures after returning home from work. Dispose of the mask and gloves outside the house only. If it is a homemade mask, wash with warm water and detergent. Some important tips. Don't touch the mask when worn. In case it happens, wash your hands immediately with soap and water for 20 seconds. Remove the mask from the bag. Never hold it from the front. Download the Arogya Setu app on your phone. We, the entrepreneurs, officers and workers of micro, small and medium enterprises can also help in accelerating the economic growth of the country, besides safeguarding ourselves and preventing the spread of this pandemic just by embracing new habits and behaviors. When alone, challenges look bigger. When together, we emerge as winners. MSME Ministry is always ready to help you. In case of any need, please contact.
Moving on, Union Home Minister Amit Shah yesterday held a high-level review meeting with the officials of NDMA, NDRF, IMD and the Indian Coast Guard on preparedness for dealing with cyclone brewing in the Arabian Sea. The cyclone Nisarg is expected to hit some parts of Maharashtra, Gujarat and Daman and Diu. Later, Amit Shah held a video conference meeting with the Chief Ministers of Gujarat and Maharashtra and the Administrator of Dadra and Nagar Haveli along with Daman and Diu. The cyclone is expected to touch the coast of Maharashtra and Gujarat tomorrow. The Home Minister assured them of all possible help from the centre in view of the impending cyclone and asked them to spell out in details the requirements and resources needed to deal with the situation. Meanwhile, NDRF has already deployed 13 teams in Gujarat, including 2 kept as reserve, and 16 teams in Maharashtra, including 7 teams as reserve, while 1 team each was deployed for Daman and Diu Nagar Haveli. NDRF is aiding the state governments for evacuation of people from low-lying coastal areas. The Met Department has informed that the well-marked low-pressure area over southeast and adjoining east-central Arabian Sea and Lakshadweep area concentrated into a depression and is very likely to intensify into a deep depression today and intensify further into a cyclonic storm over east-central Arabian Sea during the subsequent 24 hours. Well, for more on that story, Sudhakar Das, our correspondent, is all set to join us. Sudhakar, good morning. Sudhakar, give us a sense of the meeting that transpired between Amit Shah and the chief ministers and the administrators of Daman and Diu. What were the demands that the chief ministers had, when it comes to the requirements that the state needs to be ready for this particular cyclone?
जी बिल्कुल, देखिए अनिल, ये दूसरा तूफान होगा जो पिछले 13-14 दिन के भीतर देश के तटवर्ती क्षेत्र में आएगा। अम्फन में हमने देखा कि जो केंद्र और राज्य की मिलकर जो तैयारियां हुई थी, उसकी वजह से जान माल का नुकसान काफी कम किया जा सका था। कल 3 महत्वपूर्ण बैठकें हुई, जिस बैठक का आप जिक्र कर रहे हैं, उसके अलावा गृह मंत्री ने सबसे पहले अलग से एनडीआरएफ, एनडीएमए, इंडियन कोस्ट गार्ड और आईएमडी के अलावा तमाम अन्य अधिकारियों के साथ बैठक की। उसके बाद उन्होंने राज्यों के मुख्यमंत्रियों के साथ और जो दमन दीव के प्रशासक हैं उनके साथ संवाद के जरिए जानने की कोशिश की, खासतौर से जो इवैक्यूएशन प्रोसेस है वो किस तरह से चल रहा है। अभी जो ईस्ट सेंट्रल अरेबियन सी में जो डिप्रेशन की स्थिति बन गई है अनिल, और ये अगले 10-12 घंटे में शाम से पहले एक तरह से कह सकते हैं ये जो बुरा डीप डिप्रेशन जो है साइक्लोनिक स्टॉर्म की स्थिति में बदल सकता है। और कल जो जब ये तट से टकराएगा तो सीवियर साइक्लोनिक स्टॉर्म की स्थिति में रहेगा। और निश्चित तौर पर जो एक तरह से साउथ गुजरात है, दमन दीव है, और इसके अलावा नॉर्थ महाराष्ट्र के इलाके बहुत ज्यादा इससे प्रभावित हो सकते हैं। लेकिन इसका असर गोवा, कर्नाटका के कोस्टल इलाकों पे भी पड़ सकता है। फिलहाल गुजरात, महाराष्ट्र और दमन दीव के लिए येलो मैसेज दिया गया है। मुख्यमंत्रियों से गृह मंत्री ने ये जानने की कोशिश की कि जो इवैक्यूएशन प्रोसेस है, खासतौर से एडवाइस भी दी उन्होंने कि शाम तक उसको पूरे तरह से कंप्लीट कर लिया जाए। जो भी लो लाइंग एरियाज हैं, कोस्टल एरियाज हैं, क्योंकि सिर्फ तूफान नहीं है, हाई टाइड की भी आशंका है, और हाई टाइड की स्थिति में उसमें नुकसान ज्यादा हो सकता है। तो इस तरह की सलाह दी गई है और कोशिश है कि आज शाम तक इस प्रोसेस को कंप्लीट कर दिया जाए। 30 से ज्यादा एनडीआरएफ टीम्स जो प्रिकॉशनरी मेजर्स के तौर पर, जो एक तरह से राज्य सरकारों की डिमांड थी, उसके मुताबिक तैनात हो चुकी हैं और वो इवैक्यूएशन प्रोसेस में स्टेट गवर्नमेंट्स की मदद कर रही हैं। गृह मंत्रालय ने एडवाइस भी किया है कि जो जरूरी चीजें हैं उसका पर्याप्त, खासतौर से पीने का पानी, इस तरह की चीजों का पर्याप्त स्टॉक कोस्टल एरियाज में रहे। और साथ ही साथ केंद्र की तरफ से, क्योंकि तूफान के तुरंत बाद की स्थिति में जो रिस्टोरेशन के लिए कई चीजें चाहिए होती हैं, हमको पता है कि चाहे एनडीआरएफ के लिए रोड क्लियरेंस की बात हो या फिर कम्युनिकेशन सिस्टम, पावर ट्रांसमिशन सिस्टम, उनको रिस्टोर करने की बात होती है, उसके लिए जरूरी दिशा निर्देश दिए गए हैं। तो एनसीएनसी जो नेशनल क्राइसिस मैनेजमेंट कमेटी है, उसकी भी कल शाम बैठक हुई थी और उसमें भी समीक्षा हुई थी दोनों राज्यों के और दमन दीव के एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर के साथ कि किस तरह की पूरी स्थिति है। आज मुमकिन है कि आज फिर दोपहर या शाम तक एक बार फिर से केंद्र और राज्य मिलकर पूरी स्थिति की मॉनिटरिंग करेंगे। क्लोजली गृह मंत्रालय की नजर है पूरी स्थिति पर, गृह मंत्री खुद इस स्थिति पर नजर रख रहे हैं और साथ ही साथ कोशिश है कि जो कम से कम नुकसान हो इस तूफान के चलते, निसर्ग तूफान के चलते। और कल, क्योंकि कल दोपहर ये महाराष्ट्र के रायगढ़ और दमन दीव के बीच ये कहीं टकराने वाला है, तो दोपहर उस समय जो पूरी स्थिति है, पूरी तरह एक तरह से कह सकते हैं मॉनिटरिंग हो रही है, बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है। और ये प्रिकॉशनरी मेजर्स के चलते केंद्र को भी और राज्यों को भी कि जान माल के नुकसान को कम किया जा सकेगा।
Okay, we'll leave it there. Thank you and appreciate you joining us. The landfall is expected somewhere tomorrow afternoon, and the states that need to take care, Maharashtra, Gujarat, along with Dadra and Nagar Haveli, along with Daman and Diu, that have been, those were the places where the chief ministers of those states interacted with the Home Minister Amit Shah and took stock of the situation there as it gears up for that cyclone there. Moving on, the government of India is continuing to bring back stranded Indians from across the globe through the Vande Bharat mission. Government is further planning to expand the mission to make the facility available for more Indians who are stranded in different countries. Aviation Minister Hardeep Singh Puri said Air India will operate 70 more flights to United States and Canada in phase 3 of the mission during June 11th to 30th. Meanwhile, 3,891 people returned on Monday from Dubai, Kuwait, Abu Dhabi, Muscat, Bahrain, Salalah, Moscow, Kiev, Madrid, Tokyo, Dhaka, Bishkek, Almaty, Riyadh and Dammam. After the Indian Railways resumed passenger train services in the country in a phased manner from the 12th of May, the Railways began running another 200 special trains starting on Monday. These services will be in addition to the Shramik special trains and the 30 special AC trains. Approximately 1,45,000 passengers travelled on day one. Around 26 lakh passengers have booked their tickets for advanced reservation period starting from the 1st to the 31st of June. These trains are fully reserved. Trains have both AC and non-AC classes. The general coaches have reserved sitting accommodation. There will be no unreserved coach in the train. The passengers will have to reach the station at least 90 minutes in advance to help thermal screening at the station. All passengers will be screened and only asymptomatic passengers will be allowed to board the train. All passengers will have to wear face masks and observe social distancing. On arrival at their destination, the travelling passengers will have to adhere to health protocols as prescribed by the destination state and union territories. No linen, blankets and curtains will be provided inside the train. Use of Arogya Setu app will be mandatory for all passengers. Online booking of tickets for these trains is being done through IRCTC website or through the mobile app. Railways has also allowed the booking of reservation of tickets through the reservation counters, common service centers and ticketing agents. Booking of Tatkal tickets can be done from the 29th of June for journey date 30th of June and onwards. The Nagpur bench of the Bombay High Court has said that all asymptomatic frontline workers working in the hospitals and the containment zones of Vidarbha region shall be entitled to be tested for COVID-19 using the RT-PCR method. A division bench of Justices Ravi Deshpande and Amit Borkar was hearing a PIL filed by an NGO seeking a direction to start testing all persons attending to COVID patients. The NGO seeks for a direction to the Indian Council of Medical Research to frame appropriate guidelines for conducting the rapid antibody test and the RT-PCR test of the doctors, nurses, paramedical staff, pharmacists, police personnel, etc. who are attending the COVID-19 facilities, and accordingly to take such tests to safeguard their lives, which is the guarantee under Article 21, right of life of the Constitution of India. The court directed ICMR to frame the appropriate policy and prescribe the protocol for periodical testing of the frontline workers in Vidarbha region on the RT-PCR model within a period of 1 week from Monday. The court has also directed the district collectors or the commissioners, the municipal corporations or the chief officers, municipal councils or the competent authorities in Vidarbha region to immediately start testing frontline workers with RT-PCR method for COVID-19. Well, big news coming in. One terrorist has been gunned down by security forces in the Saimo area of Tral in Pulwama district of Jammu and Kashmir in the wee hours today. The encounter is still underway between the combined forces of 180 CRPF, SOG Tral and RR and terrorists. Continuous firing has been reported from both sides. Security forces recently busted a terrorist hideout and seized a huge quantity of arms and ammunition in a joint operation in Pulwama district. Security forces thus averted a big attack. Well, for more on that, Salman, our correspondent Salman Qazi joining us this morning. Salman, good morning. Salman, is that particular operation over or is it continuing?
No, the operation is still continuing and there is an exchange of fire still going on. According to our reports, one militant is still holed up in the area, and the latest is that out of the 2 militants that were holed in the area, one of them has been killed and the operation is ongoing still.
Okay, what happens to, give us a sense of the topography of this particular region where this particular militant is holed up and one militant that's been killed?
The encounter is taking place in the Tral area of the Pulwama district, and
okay.
it's a large village. Taimu is a pretty large village, and it's in the midst of a village. This house where the encounter is taking place. So definitely Kashmiri villages have a typical topography, surrounded by fields and often sometimes also hills or hills very nearby. So, but this is the general topography of the area. So it's built up area. It's a village, a largest village, and that's where the encounter is taking place.
Also, purely looking at the success that the security forces has had in the past 1 week, when it comes to elimination of militants in that particular area, how do you look at it? Does this go one step further in it, or would you say this is a one-off incident?
No, definitely the security forces have been on the move since years, and it was thought that perhaps the COVID would put a break on the operations, but it has not really happened. What has happened is that there has been accelerated operations in the last 2-3 months, and security forces have achieved a huge success in these last 2-3 months. There was a killing of Zakir Naiku, there was a killing of Sairai's son, and the question. So security forces have demonstrated that despite COVID, their intelligence grid and their preparedness is at its highest. So definitely the number of encounters that have taken place in the last 2 months is indicative that security forces are on the offensive.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Thank you and appreciate you joining us this morning there from Jammu and Kashmir with those updates. Security forces encounter there currently on, 1 militant being killed and 1 being holed up, and exchange of fire continuing between security forces and the militant. Well, that's all we had time for in this edition of news. But remember to maintain social distancing, stay safe, stay positive. We shall overcome. Bye-bye.
Union Health